Welcome, everybody, to the Casual Shenanigans Gaming Podcast, a podcast all about the irreverent love of gaming, where my monitor is not actually lined up correctly. And welcome, everybody. I have my own audio playing in the background. We are off to a train wreck of a start tonight. I haven't streamed the podcast in months, and it looks like my Skype overlay is completely uncentered.
Well, the reason why this is not starting well, Dave, is because you didn't start with, "What's up, Shenana Army?" You gotta do that, yeah.
Shenana Army. I haven't used OBS in, oh man, like forever. So, stall for me, Joel, while I manually move things around on the screen.
Guys want to see a trick? Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
All right, well,
James does that best.
It looks like the problem is my second monitor is like a different resolution than my main one, and there's like a dead space in OBS. And honestly, we're gonna roll with windowed mode tonight because I'm not playing with it live on the air. What are you guys up to tonight? And by you guys, I mean just you, Joel, 'cause it's literally just you. No one else.
Have we ever done a podcast, just us? I feel like me and Jeremiah have, and I feel like I've done with James, but can't remember you and me doing one.
I don't think so.
It must have been a long. If we did, it's been a long time.
You
Can you believe we're really getting close to 200 episodes? Like,
yeah,
that is a lot of episodes.
I can believe it.
Even if let's just say that podcast was 1 hour each, which obviously earlier ones were much longer. That's 200 hours of content, of yawning, sleepy tech content.
1, 2, 3, go. Content.
Yeah.
But Joel, I just want you to think though, if it weren't for this podcast, how poorly you would have slept over the last couple of years. Without our own voices to drone you to sleep every night.
You know, the last tech podcast I was listening to you guys, and I was thinking, what would make Jeremiah sleepy? Like listening to, because you know, I don't know why you guys have this magical ability to make my mind completely turn off the second you guys start spouting out GPU specs and numbers and stuff. It just, I don't know why. You guys are really knowledgeable. You know what you're doing. It's just not for me. I appreciate it. But like, it's the second I hear it. I've even tried going, you know what, I'm going to listen for 3 minutes straight and I'm going to focus. But I cannot. Like the second numbers start flying and it's just the NVIDIA and the AMD and the Ryzen CPU. Like it just, I can't follow it. I'm just like, I'm gone. I'm already thinking about something else. What would Jeremiah be extremely bored to listen to? Would it be collectibles? If we just talked about like collectibles and plush toys and...
I think you hit on the only thing that would be possible for him to actually get bored with, because if you think about it, he's got an interest in all of the main like techie, complicated hobbies. Cars, guns, technology.
Yeah.
I mean, what else is left that's like complicated? I mean, collectibles maybe. That might bore him some.
Maybe like collectible Legos. If we started talking about like, I don't know, like how many bricks we have, like different colored pieces.
The UPC codes of like the different brick sets. Like, oh, I've got the number, Star Wars number 231.
Maybe, yeah, what if we like read off ingredients? Like maybe that would be, I don't know, maybe you'd find that fascinating.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jeremiah, if you could write into the casualshenanigans at gmail.com, tell us what do you think would be the most boring podcast ever, and you know we're going to do that for you just to give you a night's good night's rest, good night's sleep, good night to go to bed.
Just make sure, Joel, you listen very carefully to the next tech podcast because there's some content in there just for you, buddy.
I love it. Every time, like I'm like falling asleep and then I hear, and Joel's probably already asleep, and I'm like, oh, yep, I am.
I actually already forgotten what it was, but it was something good. So make sure you listen. But it wasn't good enough for you to remember. But it was good. So yeah, seeing this is a gaming podcast, let's start the podcast off like we always do with what are you playing this week? Joel, what are you playing this week?
Let's see. This week, man, what have I played? I think just Zelda and Wildlands. I think pretty much. Oh, I played a little bit of Star Wars last night, which was fun. But poor Dave tried to join, and everything went wrong for him.
I swear, it's just time for a reformat. Like I think it's just,
you got to do that. Or
my
something.
system's corrupted.
It's just me. Every time he joined voice chat, the entire PS4 would just freeze on his end, and he would just have the internet would just max out or something, and freak out for him. So that kind of sucked. So hopefully I can get that fixed so you don't have because you had that problem of it wouldn't auto update stuff for you either.
Yeah,
which is
honestly,
so weird.
man,
I never had that problem. So I need to go over there and just do a complete format to see what's going on. I don't know.
I have a ghost in the system for sure. I've had it makes me laugh because you always joke about how complicated PC gaming is, and me being primarily a PC gamer, it makes me laugh that I've had such ridiculous amounts of problems with my PS4, but I know it's an aberration. Like, it's not actually how it's supposed to be. But you have to admit, somehow I have found the unicorn.
I know, you have. It's funny because you know so much about PCs, but I have the hardest time using a controller or a menu that's actually designed to be user-friendly. You're great at unuser-friendly stuff.
Well, one thing I hate, actually, menu-wise, speaking of it, because I went to it multiple times last night tweaking things, is I hate that the headphone options are under devices. So you have to go to your systems menu. I wish there was a hotkey for it where
you just hold down the PS4 buttons on the left and you click on sound and it's right there. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I seriously. I just need to show you a few things because I actually tried telling you this a few times before.
Oh my gosh!
But again,
if
you don't play your PS4 enough, you're just always gonna forget. So.
Yeah, last night's attempt at Star Wars was honestly the first PS4 game I've played since probably March.
Yeah.
Yeah, come help me, Joel, please.
Help. So basically that's all I've kind of played. It's been a really busy weekend and week. So I've actually I just sent a message to Edgar today saying, hey, I need to play some Battlegrounds. Can't wait to play with some more with him. I was like, I feel like I have not gotten enough, tips, cool pro tips while playing. Like, oh, go this way. Take your shoes off, run quick, pull the gun out, run fast, get in the car, don't get in the car, shoot left, shoot right, sell your weapon.
Sell your weapon.
Yeah, sell your weapon, open a store, survive, settle down, have a family. Huh?
What? That's a long game of Battlegrounds.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I can try to pull the I'm super busy excuse as well. Also, is the stream quality really blocky for you guys? I'm looking at the preview, and it looks pretty compressed.
I only have the chat open, so.
No, yeah, it is because there's a typo in my bitrate. I did 300 kilobits instead of 3,000.
I was thinking actually today, Star Wars, which I pretty much think about every day. But I remember the week before The Force Awakens came out, and I realized I disconnected my email from my phone. I uninstalled the Facebook app. I uninstalled YouTube app, everything from my phone for a full week because I did not want to be spoiled. And then I'm a moron, and I get on our podcast and I have our chat window open. And I remember thinking afterwards, if one of our fans had spoiled me, I would have done something really violent.
To who, though? Are you gonna hurt these people, Joel?
If they hurt my Star Wars, I will hurt them.
Jeremiah's gonna hate editing this because I just moved the Skype window around again, resized it. I should just move it every 10 minutes, to one side of the screen or the other, so it has to track it constantly. Yeah, game-wise, it's been a busy week because, I have a constant amount of content I'm working on for the channel, but we've been trying to do something new, just out of town or something, like day trips for the weekends, because, Jess as a teacher, so she gets summers off, but she gets, 6 sick days for the school year, not vacation days, sick days, and that's for the entire year. And teachers get sick, guaranteed, every year. Because kids are germ factories, so you can't really take your sick days as vacation. So we've been trying to go to a museum or some new hiking place every weekend. So I've been doing a lot more editing during the week instead of on weekends. So it's been pretty busy. But I've been playing a good variety of stuff this week. We had our usual Arma night on Mondays, and it's hilarious right now because we haven't fixed the router problem over at Jeremiah's house. So the general, my Fallout computer in the other room, is hosting the Arma server. So every Monday night I get home from work and I pull this giant spool, 75 feet of Ethernet cable, and I just like unwind it across the house to connect the server because I just don't want to do it over wireless. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, Arma, you and I played some Wildlands this week. Also super glitchy just randomly. Like, it's not usually that bad. It was just one of those nights. Like, I fell through the map at least twice. We saw more enemies spawn in that Wildlands area than I've ever seen in the game before.
Oh, and and speaking of Wildlands, I guess we haven't sent it out to the CSG people, but you should check out Dave's channel. We just put up a Wildlands video. I've actually been working on this for probably 5 months since the game came out. I've been recording footage and making my case for why I think it's actually a really, really good game. So you should check it out. It's on Dave's channel. It's like 3 videos back or something like that. It's just called Why You Should Give It Maybe a Second Chance, I think. I don't know. But yeah, if you haven't played the game and it's cheap and you hate it already, take a look at the video. Maybe I'll change your mind and sucker you into buying a game. Ubisoft.com.
Shield. I was looking at the stream as you were talking, going, what's happening now? Steam opened in the background and was trying to update to my friends list. Thankfully I was logged out. It was just like on top of your face while you were talking. Everything's on fire tonight. But yeah, Joel did a great job in the video, and actually I was looking at my YouTube idea document on Google Docs tonight, Joel. I just crossed out the Wildlands off the list. I've had it on there since March wanting to do a video, and you said like literally 75% of what I wanted to, and then you let me just add on my stuff to the end, so good enough. There it is. Yeah, it is.
We need to play again, Dave, and I will be the captain. I will lead you.
Captain now?
Yeah, I am the captain now.
You are the immersion captain when it comes to Wildlands.
I will lead you into the immersion captain. Dude, you would have died laughing so hard last night because when I played, Joey went upstairs to bed. And I was like, good night. And I like literally went whoosh, to the screen, pulled up my phone, Spotify. We're in.
It's time.
It's time.
Speaking of, it's time. Is it time, Joel, to talk about something briefly? I want to talk more about games we're playing, but I think that's a good transition right there.
Yeah. We need to talk about this. It's pretty serious.
Let's just drag this over real quick.
Gathering children. So, you know what our Patreon does, Dave? Do you know what it does?
Not at all, actually.
Yeah, me either. No, we have a Patreon account, and it's basically like people PayPaling us in a subscription every month, and we deliver you a podcast. But actually what it does is it supports the podcast. It supports the Teamspeak server that we have that everyone's kind of welcome to. We play Arma on it, Battlefield, Battlegrounds. It's just a place that we try to provide for fans of Casual Shenanigans to come hang out together and everything, which I never hang out with anyone, so I apologize. But but no, that it pays for that. But also lately, we've been working on something special. So we've been saving up some of that sweet CSG cash, and we've had an idea kind of milling around for quite a while actually. And it was actually I believe it started out with a joke, with me saying something about Dave and something about something he always wanted to be when he was a kid. And again, if you follow the podcast, you know that Dave, once you see this, you're going to completely understand exactly. Oh! So,
what you laughing at, Joel?
I had nothing. So, what we're about to show you guys, and we're posting it on the CSG Facebook page. I'm publishing it right now. And I say go there, sign up, like the page, helps us out. Subscribe, slam that Facebook social media. I hate social media. I hate social media. No, but go check it out. And I think, Dave, are you going to drag it on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. But this has been a long time coming. We've spent a lot of work on it. But this is just another teaser again. For the last couple of weeks, you may have seen some really bizarre footage right before the podcast. And people are asking, like, what the hell is that? And we're still not telling you what it is. But it's coming very soon. And we got 2 really cool things in the works that's going to be that we've kind of produced and we've shot for you guys. And we're aiming to have it done by the 200th episode. So it might be a little bit close. We might not have everything done by, but it's going to be really close. So it's a lot of work, but it was absolutely hilarious to film. And I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. And the first section will be showing off in the next couple weeks. Probably either it might be before the 200th episode, or it might be on the 200th episode if the other part is not done yet. But let's just say it'll be worth the wait if you guys are fans of the show, fans of our humor, sarcasm, all that kind of stuff.
It's
so
pretty awesome.
yeah, but check out the Casual Shenanigans Facebook page and comment on there. I want to see what you guys' theories are, what this is all about. I want to hear your story. Tell us what you think is going to happen. And basically what I'm just saying is post so we get more likes and stuff. So that's basically what I'm saying.
Really helps us out.
Yeah, it really helps us out. Thanks, Dave. But yeah, so that's basically all. We're going to be talking about it again. But this episode is 196. So 197 we'll have another little thing for you guys. Little tease, little taste. A little delectable
All right.
slice.
That's enough. That is cut you off right there.
Okay.
I feel like my job as host tonight is almost to like shut you down when appropriate. Just close things down. But yeah, Joel's been working hard on it. It was, like he said, just an idea that we had randomly, and it's really funny that we actually were able to follow through, and it's a lot more legit than I thought it was going to be. Like, it was one of those ideas on paper where sounded hilarious, but I kept wondering, like, is it just us that thinks this is so funny? But looking how this whole thing is coming together, this secret project, I think you guys are really going to enjoy it for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It just makes me laugh so hard. I was just working on it tonight, actually, before the podcast, and I'm just dying laughing because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's. You guys might hate it, but I was just crying laughing because I mean we're all close friends, so just seeing what we're working on is it's so stupid and good too.
It pleases me, for sure.
Absolutely.
Going back to what we're playing this week, I actually want to talk a bit for our quote-unquote main topic, our super casual main topic for tonight. We talked about Wildlands a bit, and I've been playing Homefront Revolution as well.
Yeah.
And along with Mafia, that's a number of games that have come out in the last year that have basically reviewed really poorly at launch, and over time they've been patched and improved. And me personally, I've gone back to each one of those games a time after they've released and actually found myself liking them a lot. And for you, Wildlands was that game this year for sure. So let's just talk about that some. And how people's reactions to that are so angry. It's so funny. There's this sense that, to be honest, let's say Mafia, for example, and Homefront especially, those games were broken at launch. They had severe issues. They were not finished, I would say. I'd be as bold to say that, too. So there's definitely some righteous indignation there from people who maybe bought it at launch or were buying into the hype train. But it's really interesting that, I think if I can dial down the topic here, focus it in a bit, why do you think, Joel, that people are so unwilling to give games second chances after a bad first impression?
I feel like there's almost like this sense of sense of justice, or this feeling of, if you said one thing, right? Like, I even think just in general, just as a person, right? When somebody says, let's say you go, you know what, this is how I think this should be in the world, right? Just whatever it may be. And then 5 or 6 years down the road, you maybe go, you know what, I don't think it actually should be that way. I think I actually believe, it's this way. It's like people, they go, oh, you turned your all back. It's like, well, sometimes you just kind of, I don't know, you can have a different taste sometimes. Sometimes you can change your mind on things. But I think sometimes with games, especially when someone posts something, and again, it's so effing easy to post your shitty comments online that you barely thought about just to kind of get your angst out. Because you're going to get that instant feedback of people like going, fighting and you know what I mean?
Joel, you keep channeling H3H3 Productions, and it makes me laugh every time. You're getting really good at
What's that? Bilbo Baggins?
Sorry, complete derailment.
I think technology makes it so damn easy to post stuff out. And I think, honestly, angry people and people that are frustrated and people that are just want to see things burn are more likely to post, oh, this sucks, this is horrible, as opposed to people who enjoy things again. I love stuff. I'm like, I don't post crap everywhere. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people that are really into Instagram and social media and all that stuff, and they still don't post saying, hey, man, this was the best movie ever. They just enjoyed it, and they just might have told their friends, like, person to person, not through Twitter or on Facebook or through a rant or through a forum. But I think, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think, there's also this stigmatism. Is that the right stigmatism?
Stigma, not stigmatism. There's a stigma, not a stigmatism.
What? I don't know.
Stigmatism is a medical condition.
Okay, sorry. Stigma. That, like, with Ubisoft or EA or whatever, it's like, it's gonna be crap. Now, again, they've done some stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know, I bet people, as they do grow up, and I don't mean that in like a condescending way of like, grow up, man. Like, physically
grow up.
Physically grow up. I think I just look at that stuff less and less. And again, if you do get a chance to watch the Wildland videos, something I say in it is how I look at reviews for games now is not score. Like, again, it's cool seeing a game that you really love get a really good score. That's always satisfying, right? Yeah. But to me, that doesn't end like if it's a 9 p.m. I'm so tired. If it's a 9.0, I'm not going to go jump out and replay the game just because it's 9.0. To me, I really look for their personality. And I think that's something more than anything I think is really important is, again, Sniper Elite 4. I wasn't really that interested in the game, and Dave ended up getting a key and is like, hey, this guy has like, it's World War II, like it looks really immersive,
Super immersive. That's basically the word I use over and over again.
I mean, like, it's got all these cool guns that we both really like from, that era. I'm in it. I'm down. I don't need to hear like an article that says, oh, it's so slow or doesn't have a lot of content. To me, I'm like, I don't give a crap. Dave really likes that style thing. I know Dave. I like his personality, and when he says this is going to probably be a good game, I just go, oh, I'm done. Yeah, I got it. That sounds great.
Have you heard when he says
arm? Yeah, I know. You lied to me.
Trust lost.
But anyways, in the video, I go on a little bit about saying, look at the personality of the people. Mm-hmm. And I think people just look at everyone's hating on Ubisoft. Dude, hate it, man. It sucks ass. Don't play the game. It's like, no. Like, what kind of games do you like? Maybe it is good. Like, like what I saw in that game was, yes, there's a lot of wonk and a lot of, bugs and stuff like that. But what I saw is there was a lot of things that enabled someone as my type of gamer that I just enjoyed playing on my own. I can do anything I want. I can, I can take on any mission however I want, and I love collecting the weapons and stuff like that. It was easy to jump in, jump out. It reminded me almost like the Lego games of military stuff, where it's just super. You just drop in 2 seconds, you're on a mission, you can just do something, But I think it's just, gosh, and the stuff that I get so pissed off about is the amount of people saying, "Oh, there's not enough content." We need to have a podcast about that sometime.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, what amount of content is enough? Like, what seriously is enough? Like, it's one thing if Battlefront, I know Battlefront came out with like 4 maps. That was a very small amount of content. As a Star Wars fan, I was more than happy. I would pay it because I'm a Star Wars whore. And so I realized that. But in most cases, like, dude, I only played 80 hours of the game. Sucks. What? What? Like,
that guy who posted our Witcher video, he's like, Witcher 3 was the worst game of all the Witcher games. I could only beat it 3 times before I was just done. Like, what?
And it's like, I don't know. I mean, again, like, I wish someone would write in and want to jump in our podcast who's a lot younger than us, in the sense of, like, people growing up now have games that have, hours upon hours of content. I mean, think of like GTA, right? But when I was a kid, we had just crappy little NES games and Super NES and stuff. We had games where they had 8 levels and that was it. Like, replayability meant you try to beat it on the extra hard mode, but that was it. So I think the bar has been raised. Yeah. But I think it's like there is a little bit of loss of appreciation to some of that. Yeah. Like, again, every game that comes out open world doesn't mean it's gonna be great. It could be filled with just garbage, but it's like, holy crap! It's like, I only got 80 hours. Like, 60 hours? That's $1 per hour I spent for $60. That is really good ratio. I think that's a dollar-wise game. I think if you can get that. But you know what I mean? I don't know. It just blows my mind. They're like, oh, only 50 hours. Like, but it's not an MMO. It's a play on your own. Has 50 missions. How many hours do you expect it to be? I don't understand.
Joel, we were actually just talking about this, me and Jeremiah, the podcast before last week, because last week was the tech podcast. focusing though on DLC post-launch content, and how it's amazing that the gaming community seems to be split on the center of half of them say I shouldn't have to pay for any post-launch content, and the other half are also saying at the same time we want tons of post-launch content. Like, I need another 100 hours of content. Like, keep me interested in your game. And we talked about Battlefield 1 specifically, and how they've actually started releasing some upcoming maps from the in the name of the Czar DLC. They're going to release a map early outside of the DLC just to keep a new map coming, which means that they're going to have a new map out in June, July, August, September, the full DLC. They're calling it like the Summer of Battlefield. We talked about it all last week. Essentially, that because of fan complaints, they've made sure that there's like a new community mission, new dog tags, and literally new maps for premium players all summer long. Every month, new content, along with a patch now every single month. July just came out. Isn't that some pretty great support, Joel? Even if you do have to pay for premium to get some of it. And
yeah,
it's for some of it, Joel. Right now, there's premium trials. For the next week, you don't even have to own premium. You can just play everything right now for free. And yet, you go on their Facebook, Joel, like the patch that came out today released the July map, the night map, the city map today. You go on the Facebook, and all the comments on the Battlefield post about like, hey guys, free new patch, free new map, free battle packs. Also, everyone can play it. You don't have to pay for it for the next week. All the comments were like, so boring, not enough content, so bored, you got dead game, dead game. I'm just like, what is wrong with you guys? Like, it's never enough. It's never enough, it seems like.
Let me put you in an interesting scenario, Dave. Like, this is one that I've been in many times, especially working on Norman, and I think this applies to games as well, and I think it applies to how people see, like, I guess what they perceive as like good content, value, worth, and whatever they buy or things like that, right? So as I'm working on Norman, you get a lot of. I've gotten tons and tons of people with extreme different sides of what they think it should be, right? Because I mean, like, I worked on the script. We worked with James and I worked with a lot of people, right? So we have a story we're really happy about. I love it, right? And we've been editing it for years now. I mean, it's done. I haven't touched it for a long time editing wise, but I'm saying as we were working on it, it's been changed a lot of times, right? But here's what's interesting. It's kind of reminds me of like car people in a way when you have people saying, oh, you should get this car, right? Oh yeah. Well, being someone in the middle, right? Let's say someone. Okay, let's say one of my favorite movies is Lawrence of Arabia, right? It's a very slow paced film. I think it's one of the best films ever made, right? I just love that kind of
sometime,
right?
Joel.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
I haven't seen it before.
But okay, so I'm someone who really loves that kind of movie, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say you have somebody who sees Norman, and they're giving you feedback, and you have to figure out, is this feedback worthwhile that I should take and change stuff in Norman, right? I like to get to know them a little bit and kind of find out what is their background, what kind of movies they like. Well, let's say all they like is movies like, I don't know, like freaking Sharknado, I don't know, or just only Fast and Furious. Like, not that those movies are horrible, but it's like they only like fast-paced, just in-your-face action, right?
Yeah.
I have to really figure out and weed through it and go, oh, this feels way too slow. I have to weigh that and go,
yeah,
is it too slow, or how much do I weigh that person's perspective on things if that is all the type of stuff they like? And I think to bring this into games is when you have someone's like, oh, Ubisoft, oh, they're always killing the Rising Towers, it's like they make it so big. It's
Rising
like
Towers.
Sorry, you know what I'm talking about, the towers you unlock, whatever.
Unlocking towers. I was like, the Rising Towers, like, just out of the ground?
That's Lord of the Legend of Zelda, the Rising Towers now.
Oh no, they got Ubisoft. Ubisoft.
But there's only 8 towers.
Ubishafted.
I think, like, that's why I go for character, for who's reviewing the game, who's talking about it. It's not, I don't need someone who's just only excited about the game, but if you can tell they have this genuine excitement about it, and if that matches your perspective a little bit, I think you're going to have a much better time playing that game than if you just go for, oh, that's a 9.5.
Yeah, score is not where you should stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Ever.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like people, I feel like they've lost that, and it's like, don't forget, like, because people want to almost go to the last thing that someone's reviewed something on. Someone always wants to get the last word on how things should be, And that last word always feels like it's the most important. Like, oh, no, you got 10 reviews by 10 people before you, but my review, now you need to take this one serious. I know you heard them, but my review, now this is where you need to change Norman, or now you need to change this to be faster. It's kind of like you gotta weigh that and just figure out, like, does this have value? Does this actually make sense for what I'm gonna do? But I don't know. That's why I've completely changed really to perspective and character for games. And I think I feel like every single game now that I've bought based off of that, I've really, really enjoyed.
Nice.
And one was Wildland. I saw somebody's review of it, and it was like, I think it was like a much older person too that was just like, yeah, play this a little bit. And I was like, maybe I should give this a try again. And I really enjoyed it. So that's my cranky old Joel rant.
No, that was good. Just to bring it back around to the original question, that was some seriously good thoughts though. Is I thinking over the question myself of why do people have such a hard time? Like, people are already pretty judgy. Like, we've definitely established that, and that seems to trigger you just a little bit. You have to look at personalities when it comes to reviews. But thinking about why people are so unwilling to give games a second chance, I think comes from a couple different areas. And like you said, a big part is the internet is so easy to just drop an opinion on, like, quickly. It's all about speed, like just on to the next thing. And I think YouTube comments are a great example of that. I've got a fantastic comment of the week to end the episode that's a great example of how people can just drop a comment quickly. So it's easy to just drop an opinion without backing it up. And it's much easier to share a negative opinion, especially if it's shared with other people or by other people. You can kind of get caught up in the deluge of negative opinions quite quickly, where you see everyone else hating on something, and you're like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, I'm going to hate it too. Drop the comment and run. That's very easy to do. I think another part of why people just don't give games second chances after launch anymore is because there's so many of them. Like, actually good games, like 9.5s.
Yeah, there are
10s.
so many games, yeah.
So you have to kind of be maybe disappointed the game didn't score as well as you thought to take a second look in the first place. You have to be kind of thinking about it still, because it's easy just to forget. Yeah. I forgot that Dishonored 2 already came out this year. It came out last year, but I forgot about it this year until like May. I saw it on sale on Steam, and I was like, oh gosh, it came out last fall.
If you could only somehow finish up your love affair of Arma 3, Dave, you would have a gaping huge window of time.
Gaping huge window. Thankfully, Arma's under control. It's like, it's down to like a couple hours a week now.
Well, I guess more Fallout, I guess, but...
Fallout is more like, it's like 12 hours a week on average. It's pretty nuts. All building, no playing.
No. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know. I think one thing to remember is I don't think it's even remotely close. I would wager a lot of money that however you hear how bad stuff is probably only a 5 to 10% percentage of what people actually think. I would bet that any day of life, because they're just so, they're just vocal, and it's so easy to be vocal now, So it's like one of those things like, oh, it's over. I'm like, yeah, how many comments did you read? Oh, I saw 7 comments that said it was all horrible. Oh, 7 comments out of what, 7 million people that bought the game? Yeah, shut the crap up. You don't know what you're talking about. It's still a fun game.
It is. And I think the last part of why people are so unwilling to give games a second chance is because there is some legitimacy to the opinions that they have at launch. Like, people who were pissed off at Mafia 3 at launch, I was one of them, and I got a review copy for free. It looked like crap, and it ran like crap, and it wasn't the same Mafia that I was expecting at all. The game was very, very different. But because I was looking forward to that game so much, and because I already owned a copy, obviously, I was able to go back to it and revisit it. And because basically I wanted to like the game, I was much more willing to go back and give that second look. But I can definitely see how people might not even want to take that second look. Be like, well, the developers don't deserve it. Man, it's just tough because games these days, there's so much pressure to get them out during the launch window from the publishers. And the games are just getting bigger and more complicated to the point where it's funny, Joel. I don't expect games to be finished at launch anymore. I really don't.
I know, it's such a weird world, man. It's so bizarre.
Even the new Zelda had really bad frame rates for the first couple of weeks until that first patch.
Well, it didn't have really bad. that was again blown out of proportion.
But
I played
really
it. It was
really
not bad at all.
lows. It had
No, not low time. It had a little bit of frame hiccup, and it was the reason why I got so big is because it was pretty much one of the first Nintendo games that was like, oh wow, what, you got to patch a game? That was just weird. But it wasn't even that bad.
Yeah.
But still, yeah. But like,
as an
again,
example,
I even said that on the podcast that I was like, hey, that was weird seeing like a Zelda game get patched. That's the first time.
Because it's not their style, but that's an open world RPG basically. It's a huge game, and the fact that they got it so close to totally polished at launch is unusual in today's day and time. And I mean, Homefront Revolution, it runs so well now. I've had one crash in like 10 hours, and it was because I was running around like mad, and it's CryEngine, and I pushed it way too far. But I'm running it on all ultra, and it runs great. But I look back, I actually went through the Steam reviews when the game first came out last year, and I was like, yeah, looking at how this game looks, and it looks really, really good, I can see where like at launch it was probably super crashy, super laggy. But yeah, I think that's a big part of it, is that people, especially who pre-ordered maybe and should have known better and were committed to that launch experience and got burned, I can see why you'd be reluctant to go back and give it a second chance. It's just, it sucks because...
I mean, you definitely need a first good... first impression. There we go.
Yeah.
And I think more and more games, you have to almost go, like, the people who are getting a good impression are the people that don't know about the game and buy it like 6 months later, or they decide to wait 6 months later, or you're just willing to go kind of push through it. But yeah, I mean, like, again, like for me, like a game Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful, and I bet it's probably a really fun game, but like it's not enough to make me want to play it, because I'm already really enjoying Wildlands, and I'm really enjoying playing Skyrim. I'm playing Battlegrounds, and I'm like, there's more games I'm excited to play that I'm like,
a little bit more Witcher to finish too.
But, yeah. No, I'm done. I uninstalled the game, actually. I'm done with it.
You whore son.
I played 150 hours of the game, so
that's pretty good. But I think you had side quests left, Joel?
I did have side quests, but I just got
You whore son. You plowing whore son.
Well, the only quest I had left was just all the Monster Hunt ones, which were like the side missions. I didn't like any of those, so.
They all have a unique monster though, like a unique named monster and like some story to go along with it.
They're okay. They're all the same to me. But they're
all right, guys, that's the end of the podcast forever. Yeah.
Well, we made it to 196.
I completely forgot. I was gonna say I got so angry there.
I don't remember.
Anger. Oh yeah. On the note of Homefront specifically, the developers, I remember, posted like a little blog. I think maybe 6 months ago now, which would have been a half a year after the game launched. Basically said that, hey guys, we want to let you guys know that we are still proud of the game that we made. We understand that it was definitely really buggy on launch. We apologize for that. But the dev basically explained that, their studio had gotten the game from, I think it was one of Crytek Studios, like half finished. It was basically dumped in their lap, and their publisher bought the game and said, you have 14 months to finish this game. Like, here's all the design documents, here's the parts that's finished, here's the engine, finish it. And so they basically had no chance to even make their own version of it. They just had to finish it. And they said that looking back, we wish we had more time. We had so many great ideas. And he's like, our team really loved working on the game. Like, we're still proud of what we did. And he's like, it's just, we're all very disappointed that it launched in the state that it did. I'm like, man, that's so sad from the dev side too, to be in that kind of scenario where, it's at least partially not their fault, in my opinion. That's just a really tough scenario.
Yeah, that's very interesting, man.
Yeah, that's enough sad talk for tonight. But on a related note, here's our first news story for what's the segment called, Joel, of the podcast right now?
What was it called? News time!
Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, first up. From Ubisoft, Ghost Recon Wildlands remains the industry's best-selling game in 2017, here in July. Ubisoft published their financial earnings report for, I guess, the next quarter, and says that their entire portfolio has excellent momentum, but Wildlands is still their biggest seller between January and June.
You know what that says to me, Dave? People are enjoying the game, People don't just buy it that much
quietly
and don't enjoy
enjoying
it.
the game. Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't have to be on every forum going, oh, I gotta find a tower. Just that.
Are
exactly
there
the
towers in
No,
Wildlands?
there's no towers, but I don't know, unlocking areas. But they'll probably say that, Ubisoft towers.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Oh, the helicopters, they're so horrible, I can't handle it.
They're pretty awful, to be honest.
They're horrible. But I can handle it.
My immersion overrules. Apparently, their sales targets are up 45% over expectations. And I also saw, as far as Ubisoft goes, an article a few days ago that was quite interesting. Ubisoft said during that same earnings phone call with their investors that they're expecting, I think it was like another 50% higher sales over the next half a year than expected, specifically because of the delay of Red Dead Redemption from Rockstar. Or Red Dead 2? What is it called?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, Redemption 2.
I think so, yeah.
Because that's going to basically put Far Cry 5 in its own little release window just ahead of it. And then we have Assassin's Creed this November, right?
Yep.
So basically Ubisoft's like, we're going to be all alone out there. So they're actually expecting to make even more money than before, which is pretty crazy.
That's good. I'm really happy it's doing well. The Wildlands game is doing well because I think I would love to see what they could do for the next one, because I always have that hope that a game can turn out an Assassin's Creed 2 of what their game is, because from going from 1 to 2, it was like night and day how much better 2 was. And so it'd be really cool to see, hey, like, the things that got people really annoyed, we fixed all the cars. They all work really well. All the helicopters are freaking awesome. All that kind of stuff, bullet physics. That would bring back a lot of people, I feel like. So, I mean, Absolutely. If they sold that many, they can probably do it again.
We talked about Battlegrounds briefly. This next article, I've got just some really fun news articles. Seeing the topic we talked about tonight was once again kind of depressing. Apparently, Terry Crews, who was a big hit in the PC gaming community last year when he kind of like live blogged building his first PC, then he got like a Vive and like got into VR and just got really into gaming. But Terry Crews apparently is now huge into PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. The PC Gamer article just made me laugh because it's entitled Terry Crews likes PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds more than you. It was an interview. It's actually with PC Gamer. Yeah, he basically just talked about Battlegrounds a whole bunch and is apparently completely hooked on the game. It just made me laugh because he's got like photos of him in front of his computer like playing it and all. Like he's like really into it.
That's awesome. Man, gosh, that game is so good.
Yeah. Apparently this week was the first time they've had to delay one of their weekly patches since they started doing it. They have a client crash going on. They've had weekly patches since early May, I think, right?
Wow.
Yeah, first one that actually got delayed.
Because they usually have one at the end. Well, they have one at the end of the month, I believe, every month.
Yeah. I thought it was weekly patches though.
No, it's not weekly patches. No. It's like I know there's always one big one at the end of the month. So maybe they have weekly, but I just always knew about the monthly one.
Yeah, whatever one was due today was delayed. Okay. It was the first time it got delayed. So they're definitely rocking and rolling. I think their sales are just taking off too. It's crazy.
But again, it's one of those things where it's like, I think you got to be careful. It's like, dude, the game is doing so well. It plays really well. Don't listen to the rabble of, it doesn't work. Like, again, I'm serious. Like, again, there's going to be some computers that don't work on it right because it is early access. But a game does not do this well and not play good. It just doesn't happen. So, and it's like, so for me, it's like, sweet. Keep bringing the sweet updates with cool little features and vaulting and all that crap, because the game works.
It already works well and it's already fun.
Yep.
So there you have it. I'm just happy that Shane finally gave in and is now hooked on it. Wildlands is next, buddy.
He gave it to that. I know. Wildlands is next. He's like, Battlegrounds is not so good. It's all right. Wildlands, it's okay. Totally hooked and a master at it. Tier 1.
Operator. And to wrap up the fun news for tonight, Joel, had you heard that there's actually some robot security guards already on patrol in some places in America right now?
Wait, what?
Yeah. This is from Ars Technica UK. There's this firm that made the security robots. They weigh 300 pounds. They're called the Nightscope K5. It looks like a giant warhead, like missile warhead that like rolls around. it's covered in cameras and like it can sense gunshots. It's basically a patrol like sensor. The idea is you can have a few of these patrolling around, and then it can call like human security if it actually finds a problem. They've made the news twice now, these robot security guards. Once last year when a drunk man knocked one over and beat it in a parking lot before help could arrive. Like, Joel, we're in the future. A drunken man knocked over a guard robot and like smashed it.
Dude, okay, looking at this robot, this looks exactly like the little robots they have in Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah.
There's later in the game you see these little robots and stuff. That's hilarious. We're gonna have to be really careful. We're never gonna be able to use these robots like guns or anything to police because they're gonna fall over and shoot everyone. It's not going to work at all. Someone's going to start gambling with it, like hack the AI in it and just start getting like free CSGO skins from it.
Oh, wait. Look at the article here. There were actually 2 previous incidents. The drunken man last year where he knocked it over and punched it a bunch of times before help arrived. And then also last year, it ran over a 16-month child at a shopping center, which is terrifying.
Gosh.
It weighs 300 pounds.
How did it do that? Like, it looks like it has tiny little wheels. How did it even fit?
Probably just like over its leg or something. But
oh my God.
The latest incident just this week, and this has made me laugh so hard because it's like we're in the future, but not quite. These things are so expensive. It was on patrol in Washington, D.C. at an office park, and it just committed suicide by driving into a pool outside of the building and drowned itself. Oh, man. I just imagine this poor company trying to deal with this PR this last 2 years. Like, guys, robot security guards are the future. Splash just into the pool.
Why do I just picture this? The robot's like looking like no one likes him. You know, they're all like giving him smirks, and the robot's just like do 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 do. You know, it's like hello darkness, and like this zooms up, and you just see him fall into the water, and it's like the like the splash just slowly drowns away. No one notices. This is why when I see this, when people are like, "Oh, dude, like self-driving cars, we're gonna have that like next year." Dude, there's so much we have to solve. The first time there's even slight problem with it, I'm like immediately off a cliff. I would love that. I would love to be able to sleep in my back seat and drive to California.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm like, we're nowhere close. Like this. Come on.
Well, imagine it's like, guys, our new firmware update actually allows our robot to understand or at least comprehend some human emotions, and actually it has empathy. And the robot's like, humans are animals. Humankind is despicable. I must end things. Splash.
What is that robot gonna think when he sees like CS:GO gambling skins? You know, it's like downloading all the data and seeing everything we're doing. Eyes turn red. Lasers. I'm rescuing you all from your danger.
It's for your own good.
It's just a lame voice too. Why does it always have to sound like I am a computer?
I can sense some human emotions, but we still haven't figured out voices. That's our,
I will take care of your children when you're gone.
What?
Oh gosh.
That's our fun news of the week. Do you have a 90 seconds this week, Joel, or was your ranting kind of?
Well, I saw the one link about you know what game.
That's gonna be more than 90 seconds? I feel like.
Yes, I mean I don't even want to talk about it for 90 seconds.
Just tell people what you're talking about at least.
Okay, so one of my honestly video game idols, Mark Laidlaw. I think that's how you pronounce his last name, but he was one of the writers of Half-Life and Half-Life 2 and the 2 episodes. Well, he was able to. He had a conversation with on this podcast by Arcade Attack. And this is what he says. They ask him about Half-Life 3 always. Of course. He says, I have no interest in going back. I had ideas for Episode 3. They were all supposed to take the series to a point where I could step away from it and leave it to the next generation. I had hoped for a reset between Half-Life 2 and Half-Life 3 that was as dramatic as the shift between Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2. I honestly don't know if anyone else shared this goal, but it seemed important to me to give ultimate freedom to whoever inherited the series, with my own personal set of loose ends tied up for my satisfaction. Unfortunately, I was not able to do that, but I never thought as far ahead as Half-Life 3, unless you were to say that Half-Life 3 and Episode 3 were the same thing. And then he goes on, he says, I will say that I expected every installment would end without resolution. Forever and ever. There was some rumor going around that Episode 3 or Half-Life 3 would end Gordon Freeman's story, and I don't think that was accurate. My intention was that Episode 3 would simply tie up the plot threads that were particular to Half-Life 2, but it would still end like Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2, with Gordon in an indeterminate space on hold waiting for the next game to begin, so one cliffhanger after another. This guy really knows how to write a story, but honestly, it's like, gosh, what has freaking Valve come to? Because all of the original Half-Life 2 writers are gone. Now, again, I'd be more than happy to have in the next young generation pick up the mantle and make another game. But these guys, are much older now, and just hearing from the start of saying, like, I have no interest, like something went on there, something did not go well, and it just pisses me off, the fact that it went from complete like conversations back and forth. I remember when Gabe Newell was in the limelight all the time talking about Episode 2, how he wanted to make this, DLC stuff. And the fact that I didn't need that they needed to pull out these DLCs every 6 months because they were trying to do something really quick. But I think they realized, hey, you know what? You can't make a really good game that fast. You know what I mean? You want to spend time. But what the hell happened to it? Why did it turn into such a you can't even literally talk to any public and say, you know what? This is what happened. We tried to make something that, I don't know if we're just not proud of it yet, and it was something that unless we're all passionate about doing it, it's just like, nope, we won't talk about it. And it just frustrates me, because I think those people, who left, I think there was some stuff they wanted to do with it, and it sounded awesome the way they wanted to end it, with tying up loose ends, but then also leaving it like all other games, which is a cool way. It's just like, till next time, but he was actually going to try to wrap up a bit of a story. But now it's kind of like, to me, it's like a TV show ending mid-season, and just that's it. You know what I mean? Like, there's no resolution, nothing.
So like Firefly then.
Yeah, pretty much. But at least they had a movie. But
that's true. Oh yeah.
At least they had, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't even get like a comic book ending. You know what I mean? Like a comic book season 3.
Which actually, that's what happened to Firefly. Is they had a comic that wrapped things up.
Yeah, it just sucks because, as Shane was saying, like, Valve is the company that can do no wrong. Is no longer the company that can do no wrong. And the funny part is, like, we don't know what the hell they're up to. Like, there is skins, no, like,
CS:GO skins.
Yeah, I mean, like, I miss the days when Gabe or when somebody from Valve would come out on E3 and talk about what cool technology they're working on. Now it's kind of like, oh yeah, I guess we got the Vive, but they're not really doing anything with it. They're making the hardware, but they're not doing anything with it. No word of a Portal 3, no word of another Team Fortress, no word of Left 4 Dead, nothing, anything people are like excited about. Even just to say, guys, I don't think we're going to be making these games anymore. We're handing it to just something. So that's what makes me think that they're just old cranky people, and they're making me really cranky.
Yeah, they are. I knew that was going to be more than 90 seconds by far.
Yeah. Freaking Gabe.
You love him, Joel. If he came back right now and said, Joel, will you forgive me?
No, I never ever thought I would be like angry at Valve. I really never thought that would actually be a thing. I like, if you told me like 10 years ago, like back in 2007 when Episode 2 came out, if you told me that Valve is going to be doing skins for games and all they're doing is texture packs and all these stupid DLC stuff, and not like, you don't hear any word from Gabe, I'd be like, no way, dude. Valve would never do that. Valve is awesome. They're like, to me, they've always been like, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of the Apple people of gaming, where they're like, it might be a hit or miss, but they're always like trying to make something that's just like, it just always feels like an event, when something's coming out. And so it's like, that's actually kind of when my disinterest in keeping up with PC tech and stuff like that, when Half-Life 2, when Valve was kind of like dropped away, because I was like, if Half-Life 3 got announced right now, oh my gosh, I would be so joyful to be specking on a new PC. Like right this minute, I'd be like, Dave, you got to help me build the most amazing PC
You'd be
ever. Like
studying the tech podcast.
I would. Because like those like Half-Life 2, I bought my video card just because of that. The Half-Life 2 version, I was getting the exact specs they said you should get. Oh my gosh, because I love that game.
Is it time for my soapbox, Joel?
Yes, it is.
It's time for comment of the week. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, go for it.
You know what comments I haven't seen very often in the last almost year now?
What?
On the Fallout videos is I used to get a lot of comments about my use of mods when building in Fallout 4. A lot of people, not a lot, it was like maybe one a month last year for the first part of the year. People who basically were like, oh, you use mods? Like, oh, like, I don't want to see mods for Fallout. Like, boo, mods. Like, it was, again, just one a month. But you know what's funny, Joel? All these people who were so just anti-mods and very proud of their vanilla version of Fallout, it's very strange that since about the middle of last year, those comments have basically stopped. And it's weird. It's weird because it almost lines up with when mods came out for Xbox and PS4 as well. Everyone's out complaining like, oh, boo, mods. I was like, oh, wait, I can use them too. Oh, all right. I literally have not gotten one of these comments in like almost a year now because everyone can use mods now. So a lot of that like superiority complex is over. I don't know if it's like
that's funny. That actually probably is true because it's like I don't have what you have, so I'm gonna be angry at you. And as soon as I have it, I get the idea now.
I finally got one today though, and just how proud of himself this guy was made me laugh so hard. This is a comment left on one of my rebuilding Sanctuary videos. I'm actually working on that rebuild, which you're not allowed to watch, but you do know about it.
I wouldn't watch.
Thanks.
Wait, what?
No, I knew you wouldn't. Don't ever. You will kill yourself. You let this comment. It's just, again, going back to the what did we say earlier in the main topic about how just easy it is to just leave a negative drive by something on the internet. Yeah.
With your comment. You guys had a comment.
He posted, "Does this bitch use mods to create those building structures?" It's just like you feel it, Joel, the sense of like the sense of superiority. Like, oh, does this bitch use mods? Like,
that was definitely a drive-by like gang comment shoot.
Yeah.
Yo, this bitch use mods. Drives away.
Well, he's part of the OG Fallout builders. They only use vanilla.
My vape party.
Exactly.
Spinners.
Oh, it just cracks me up, this idea that like, oh, I don't use mods, I am superior. But yeah, I'm like, I 100%.
Wait. Okay, if I were to say, if I were to play Witcher that added a mod that changed all the lore to a completely different lore, you'd be like, oh, you played that, I played the immersion-friendly one. you would hold that over. There's
a line for sure. Now, for example, if for Fallout 4, you use any of the mods that turn your player character into an anime doll, you're playing the game wrong. I'm just going to lay it out there. My version of the game is superior to yours. I will stand on that soapbox.
Oh man, I would never ever want to visit the basements or the houses or the offices or the rooms that they're playing that in when they have those characters. What in the freaking world?
I mean, at the end of the day, that's what mods are for. You can do what you want with your game, but you're wrong.
Okay, I saw a mod that literally puts fidget spinners into Dark Souls 3. This guy, literally, he put the two shields, because there's two shields they can spin. He made fidget spinners, and he goes, and I was like, I am so grateful there's no mods on PS4 for that game, because John would effing do that the first second he had a chance, because he knew he would piss me off. Like every time, hey John.
That really makes me happy that someone made that and that you actually saw it.
Yeah, well, because I was looking on Dark Souls, right, and I was like, it was like, and someone said, this is a thing, and I'm thinking, oh, this is a thing, like what's this, like a new thing? Nope, it was more of, this is a thing. Freaking A.
All right, guys, that is our podcast for this week. Thank you for coming out. If you want to give some input on tonight's topic or suggest a topic for the future, or just write in and tell Joel that all hope is not lost and Half-Life 3 is coming out, you can write in to casualshenanigans@gmail.com. You can tweet us at casualshenaniga on Twitter. You can visit our Casual Shenanigans Facebook page. And you should go over to my channel, Evil Viking 13, and watch Joel and I's video on Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Yeah.
Anything else, Joel? Any shout-outs for Boundless MP?
I don't have anything for Boundless MP. Although I wish people could see my 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 freaking USB short film. You remember that one?
All right, guys. Thanks for coming out. We're gonna end here. Until next time, stay casual, but not as casual as Joel playing with USB sticks.
Oh wait, I have one last story about bathrooms.
I was hovering over the stop button. Wait, did you say bathrooms?
I did. Should we just stop?
I'm tempted to click. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
I found myself in the bathroom. I mean, I was there on purpose. I didn't like find myself.
Who took you there?
Yeah, I was in the bathroom. I was sitting down, and I started humming a little bit, and I realized, and I came back into the office, and I remember. Did I tell you this, Dave? Anyways, closed stall, and if you hum the perfect tone, it like reverberated so much. So I was well, here the best part was I didn't realize I was doing this out loud, and the fact that this entire bathroom was full of people. So I'm like literally going, and I was like, ooh, and I literally went, ooh, because it started reverberating, and I'm just going, and it's it's like really loud, and I just hear someone just go, stop your humming. And I was like,
You're that person who was in there for like an extra half hour because of you. You derailed that train.
Okay. That's all, folks.
That was definitely worth delaying the end of the stream for.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.